Hey guys, what's going on? Justin Masson here with Nintendo Dads. And ladies and gentlemen, it was the fiscal report 2019 last night, early this morning, whatever you want to call it. And Nintendo came out with some banger information. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run it down for you very quickly. The top 3 things you need to know from the fiscal report. Number 1, Nintendo's Switch's sales units. How many Nintendo Switch sales units have moved? So as of March 31st, 2020, it is 55.7 million units. That's million units. That is absolutely fantastic. Interestingly enough, that actually surpasses the amount of units sold for the Super Nintendo or the SNES, whatever kind of monster you are. And if you combine the sales of the units sold, for the N64 and the GameCube, it actually doesn't even reach 55.7 million. So huge sales numbers for the Nintendo Switch. Obviously not a huge shock there. I had mentioned an earlier video about EA jumping in now and doing games for the Switch. Why? And I'd estimated that it'd be between 50 and 60 million. 55 million is right on the nose. So that's number 1. Nintendo Switch continues to kill it in relation to unit sales, so not a huge shock. Number 2, and this is kind of the fun one, Animal Crossing New Horizons sold in 11 days, 11 million copies. To be specific, 11.7 million copies. Huge, massive sales. And again, this tracking is only for 11 days. It came out March 20th. They tracked it until March 31st. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, that is a huge number of sales. Easily cracked into obviously the 10 million and will continue to trot up that list to the very top, somewhere near the, I suspect they'll be easily on track for a 20 million lifetime sales as well. Speaking of lifetime sales, Mario Kart 8 continues to be a banger up there at about 24 million. We'll see some graphics somewhere in here, I'm sure. The other one I'd call out to mention, which is very interesting, is Pokemon Sword and Shield. Obviously, the results there are combined, but it's 17 million. Now, interestingly enough, again, that came out mid-November, so it had November, December, and then obviously the 3 months in the year of this quarter, right? But look where it's sitting, right? It's sitting right below Super Mario Odyssey, right below Breath of the Wild, right? Smash Brothers. There's this kind of pecking order, and very quickly, Pokemon Sword and Shield has come right up to that number. Not a huge shock that Pokemon is right there. That's what we would expect, and that's what the Pokemon company expects. So not a huge shock. Again, why do we continue to see like the DLC plan that comes out in June? Well, because they want us to continue to play it or continue to move units. Not a massive shock is there. So the third and final kind of takeaway for you for this, again, short, quick video about this, is actually their mentioning of what they have on the docket for 2020, which was nothing really. They had mentioned that they have announced games for 2021, and they showed what those were, and that's Clubhouse 51, DLC packets for Smash and Pokemon, updates, free updates to Animal Crossing. They mentioned Xenoblade, and then there was another game I can't remember. That's it, right? The interesting part in the call out, the actual meeting, the notes from it, you can actually see like the talking notes, is that basically COVID has slowed down things or in some cases stopped things for them. This isn't a huge shock, right? We kind of suspected this. Usually you would suspect to say, oh, and by the way, here's what we're planning, here's what we're seeing. But they basically said, because of it, we've had to stop or slow down product development or service development. So this is what we have announced. Not a huge shock, so it is what it is. But overall, folks, I mean, that's the kind of story that we have told for last fiscal for Nintendo. Huge numbers, great numbers. We're going to talk about it more, obviously, in Nintendo Dads, but yeah, man, it's good stuff for Nintendo. Good stuff for us. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.